the fact that you have made a decision that you want to do business online, just get ready to be called a scammer. Because growing up in the kind of family I came from, I just know I have to be very, very serious about it. Now, I wanted to just break free from the Chinese system because it was just like, to me, it was a slavery.
Worse than the Nigerian system.
Yeah! Those people had zero emotion.
Some months ago, you were featured on Vanguard. An article about how you transition. No, that's not transition, that's evolution. How you evolved from making 100 naira per hour to making over 21 million naira. Tell us about that. Yo guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the show. It's the Meets Personality Show with your one and only IT to the OHS with the art. I know you've missed me, yeah, it's been a while, but thank God we are back. All right, so today on the show, I have here with me someone very special. We've had him on the show before, so let's just call it the part 2 of it, or extended version of it right here. So let's welcome on the show, Seth Kyauta.
Hello.
What's up, man?
I'm good, man. Thank you. Thank you for having me once again.
Once again, yeah. So how has it been, man?
It has really been awesome.
Yeah. I see. You're looking good.
Thank you. You're not looking bad either.
Man, how will we do now? All right, so I know, some people are new to the channel. So for some of them that are just meeting you for the first time, I would just love to start with this. So who is Seth Kyauta, briefly?
Okay. Seth Kyauta is a business coach and a filmmaker. I always say that because I know when it comes to business, there's a lot of other things. Yeah. It's not just one. That's why I said business. And then filmmaking, because we've had some couple of film projects that we've done. So yeah, that's.
I love that improvement. You know, the last time we discussed, there was no filmmaking on your CV.
Oh yeah.
But now there's filmmaking. That's awesome. So tell us about your childhood. How was your childhood like, Seth, growing up as that Nigerian kid? You know.
My childhood, it has really been a lot of, should I say, roller coaster experience.
I get.
Because as a typical Nigerian kid, I grew up in a street, like what everyone would call the ghetto, right? But even when I was growing up, I never even knew I was in the street or in the ghetto, because
it was just a normal lifestyle.
It was a normal lifestyle for me. I always think, because of the way the kind of way I was brought up, I always understand the saying. My parents will always say, yeah, we are not poor, we are not rich, we are, I was actually thinking we're in the middle class, you understand? But when reality started dawning on me, I realized, no, that was not even middle class. That was really trenches, bro.
Oh, I get.
Yeah. It was filled with many adventure, right? So many things that sometimes, stage I always come and I'll be like, wow, it was really amazing anyway.
I get. You know, each of us growing up, as children, we had dreams. What was your own childhood dream like?
I think I could always relate with one of my biggest childhood dream. When I was little, we have this teacher. Yeah. He told us that there are people that used to draw houses and they get paid. And I think one of the things I just felt, I said, I will also want to draw house and get paid. So I could remember carrying some piece of cardboard and carton, and I just draw some ugly sketches of houses.
But it made sense that time.
Yeah, actually, just now that memory came to my head. I draw some sketches of houses and I place it in front of our house and I wrote for sale. So my dream then was to sell houses, but I never even understand. I just knew I want to draw houses and sell, because our teacher told us if you draw houses and sell, you make money.
Yeah, I get. And transitioning from that childhood dream to what you do now, you call yourself an online entrepreneur. You're making money online. So when you say online entrepreneur, what do you actually mean by that? Because there are so many things people do online. Or do you still draw houses and sell online to make the money?
Okay, so saying I'm a online entrepreneur, it has to do with how I started anyway, because when I started, one of the things I did, what really helped me was reading books and having an understanding that the best way to make money in life is through business. And I am trying to figure out what way am I going to make money much faster. And I realized that, okay, doing online will give you more profit. It will cut down the cost, especially if it has to do with selling products that you have to go from one place to another, shipping product to people, goods and all those logistic stuff. It's going to give you a lot of headache. So I just preferred, okay, doing online. Why not do something that you not necessarily has to be there, or you don't necessarily have to deliver something, but you are giving value to people irrespective of your location, and you're getting paid. And that way you are going to have a huge profit margin as a result. So that's really actually the motivation about doing the online stuff and sticking with the online business.
That's awesome. Now looking at your childhood growing up from not so, let me say, not growing up with the silver spoon, as some people call it.
True.
So growing up from that kind of background to what to do now, now deciding to work online. What's that one thing that gave you that motivation to realize, okay, I need to go online? Because from how you grew up, you did not have that kind of resources, and exposure to actually have those gadgets that would show you, okay, this is the way. So how did you get to realize the online way?
Okay, so well, it actually went deep down back in when I started reading books, actually. And I read, the first book that actually helped me was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's at least, I've been reading books.
Read that book.
Very good. So when I read the book, it actually gave me the inspiration to want to go into business very well. So as of that time, I was picturing, okay, what will I do first that will make me make money? So that's why I did my analysis, and I realized that doing an online business will give me the fast track to getting my result. So when I started, I was looking, there was a particular project, a particular ad I saw online, like I was talking about e-commerce. So I studied the e-commerce and all those things, the model and everything. But I realized e-commerce is going to be very, very frustrating for me because of why. Number one, I'll need
the skills.
I need the skills, number one. I will need capital to be able to start the business itself. And I look at it, I was like, nah, for me to get capital first, okay, because at that point in time, I was in school. I just lost my dad at that point in time. So there was not really much money. It's not as if I have anybody that can support me with money if I say outside. So that made me say, okay, I should look for something that will not necessarily demand much capital to get started. So that was when I started with affiliate marketing first. Affiliate marketing was what I started with first. And then that is how the online business thing started. And that was actually what motivated me to say, okay, doing online and focusing more on the online stuff.
That's great. People have a lot of misconceptions, especially about young people making money online. Okay, they might just profile you to be a Yahoo boy or fraudster. So I know you are doing this and being famous for it, getting paid for what you do. You are not far from having those experiences. So what are those stereotypes that you face as a young person doing what you do? Okay,
so first of all, I think when I started business online, there's this man called Ronald Izimora. He's he's one of the forefathers of online marketing in Nigeria. So I think there was a time we had a session and he was telling us that the fact that you have made a decision that you want to do business online, just get ready to be called a scammer, because the average Nigerian does not understand why you'll not be doing what everybody else is doing and you're making money. So I think that really helped me to prepare my mind to get ready that whenever somebody is throwing those stones, I should be prepared. I'm already expecting it. I think it really helped me to have that understanding. And especially when I go to places, when I go to places where they are talking about any places when I go to anywhere, first time when people see me, I think one of the conception they normally have is just like, this guy. They don't think this guy will be somebody that knows something, and it is normal, right? Yeah. So even when we're looking for house here in Abuja, right? When you go, in fact, I had to start doing certain things. I started wearing caps, especially because of my hair, to make sure. Because at first I didn't even know, right? It was later my agent was now telling me that, man, you need to look very humble and what a Nigerian man will consider decent. If not, they will tag you as if you're a fraudster and all those stuff. So I had to start wearing cap and also make sure I had to present other things. Not necessarily, because if you tell people that this is what you are doing, they will not want to. They don't want to believe you. Even landlords and all this house agent people, they will not want to believe that this is what he's doing. You understand? It's legit. So they want to make sure that you are working in the office, because that is the only thing that they will understand, or that's what they feel to understand. So we get those stereotypes a whole lot, and so that is why it is very, very important that why we are doing what we are doing is to help the average Nigerian youth change the narrative to understand that you don't necessarily need to be relying on fraud for you to become who you want to become. There are so many opportunities out there. The thing is, especially online. And you know the funny thing, I've never done anything that's fraud or illegal before to say I want to make money. But from studies and things that I've seen, that people that are doing all those kind of fraud stuff, they take equal energy, the same equal energy that will take you. You are putting in to use legally. That's the same energy. Some of them don't even sleep at night for them to achieve what they are achieving. Why not channel that energy into something very legitimate? You understand? And then you are definitely going to get the results. And that one, you know that wherever you are sitting comfortably. You're not having any guilt or any remorse about what you've done or what you did. So basically we get these stereotypes, but if you keep true to yourself, people over time, especially when you start speaking and they know the quality of information that is coming from your mouth, they will know that this person really knows what he's doing, he knows his onions. And then you'll be surprised the amount of people that will later do business with you. Nice.
No, that's just talking about your immediate environment, that's the Nigerian environment. Now let's talk about online. I was reading an article online about internet scam, and then the country that topped the list was Nigerians. So is out there as a Nigerian doing something online, people already, before you are even guilty already, so you just have to prove yourself that you are innocent. So what has been your experience working with other people outside Nigeria online as a Nigerian?
Well, that's that's a great point. I think, I've had experience where actually it's not me, but my brother, he was actually, when we were doing freelancing, so somebody reached out to him, they saw his work and everything that he was doing, they were like, wow, this guy is actually good, you understand? They started chatting him up, okay, how do you do your services and all that, how can we get started and all that, and then they're now asking, okay, where are you from? He just mentioned Nigeria. And the person blocked him straight up. And then also my other brother Lucas, there was a time we were working on Fiverr. He did some gig and all those things, and he was paid. So time now came for him to receive money. He was actually receiving money already from Fiverr over time. He was receiving money. Then a particular time came, they were now like, you should do verification. Okay, he did his verification. They rejected it. He did. Till today, his money is still on Fiverr that he has never withdrawn, because it is Nigerian. And I know it's because of that. If not, why other countries are doing that, right?
And it's legit.
It's not as if he's providing services, he's helping them, he's helping people create, website mock-up and all those stuff. It's legit, not as if everything. They actually had him take a picture, hold what they call it, his name, right? So many verification code. Still yet, they refuse to give him his money. Why?
Because Nigeria.
So it's actually very, very frustrating when it comes to Nigerian people, especially if you're a service-based person, when you're delivering services. We have that they have this big margin where people don't trust Nigerians, and you don't blame them because they have a lot of experiences with some guys. I remember there was a time somebody, I don't know him anyway, but he reached out to my brother that he wants to design something. Okay, my brother was like, okay, what's the thing he wants to design? He said, okay, this is it. That if he design it, you don't necessarily have to finish the design. He's going to present to the person. The person is going to send part payment. If the person sends part payment, he's going to block the person. But I was like, what's this? You want to create something.
Is actually offering a service.
A service. Why can't you just do it up front so that you will even collect the full payment and you come clean? He said no, that he wants to just. So my brother said no, I'm not going to engage in stuff like that. So a whole lot, the culture, right? Nigerian culture. A lot of people are seeing the shining object things. You want to buy Benz, you want to live in a fine house, you want to do this, you want to buy this for your mom, you want to buy that for your dad. But life is being lived by process. There are certain things, there are certain stages you need to pass through, and you can't cheat it. You can't cheat it. You must have to follow those processes.
It's your principle.
Yes, it's principle. That is how God created. You don't sow a seed today and then you get a tree tomorrow. You must have to wait for years. And so I think that is one of the things that many people are trying to do, that is making them to want to skip the process and go into fraud.
It's affecting
other people that are doing it legitimately. So it's really, really challenging, very, very challenging. This thing is very difficult. Like, so far in Nigeria, just know you have to work 10 times. First. You are guilty already.
So that's what I say. You are guilty first until you prove yourself that you are innocent. Yeah, I get it.
It has actually rubbed off on us, and it's very, very bad. Very, very bad.
So over the years, do you think it has reduced? I mean, the level of Nigerians doing fraud online. Do you think it has reduced over the years? Looking at the improvement that we have and the tech, and the securities online as well. Do you think it has reduced since you are in the online space?
In the online space, if I am to vet or to say whether it has reduced, actually, to an extent, I would say a lot of people are actually becoming aware of ways they can earn money legally, especially the younger ones that are coming up. But if you to weigh it, I don't have any metrics or any statistics to weigh it, but because I still know the more the economy is getting harder, the more people things are getting difficult. A lot of people, especially who you listen to, is very, very important.
And your cycle.
Very important. So if you because now there's my younger sister, because sometimes I do visit her when she was still in secondary school, and they have this young boy that one time when I went to visit her, he was not like, he knows me, he normally see my stuff, in fact he's following me online and all that. There's a day he sent me a message on WhatsApp that he used to follow me, thank you so much for all the content and stuff, that he even like to understand the kind of business I'm doing so that he will learn. Then one day my sister was telling me that that boy now is into Yahoo, is a fraudster. I was like, this small boy, that boy is not up to this. I think he just should be 16 or 15 within that age. So now, to him, probably he has felt, this online, this one that they are saying, it will not get me fast. And I'm sure his friends and people around him, everybody is going to Yahoo. They are already getting the smartphones that they want, the kind of iPhone that they want, the kind of maybe girls that they want, the kind of attention, the kind of maybe the latest clothes, latest shoes and all those things. So it really is very, very, the margin, I can't really tell the metrics, but I'll tell you that the competition is very high. So people that want to go legit, some of them could not, they don't have that patience because the pressure on the counterpart is higher. So sometimes I don't know, I don't really know, I can't really measure, but the competition is high. People going to legit and people going legit stuff. You can't really tell.
I get you. I know there's a lot I would have loved us to like discuss about this online fraudulent lifestyle and stuff, but let's just leave it for now. Maybe we can have part 3 of the show. I don't know.
No problem.
All right. So on your Instagram handle, I'm trying to get it, but it's not here. On your Instagram handle, you say there's this phrase: you made $25,000 using video content. Tell us about that.
Okay, so that $25,000 that I made mention, actually, as I'm also a copywriter. Okay, so
wow.
if you are doing online business, you have to understand copywriting, the art of copywriting, because you are not seeing people physically.
Yeah.
So what's going to sell people into buying what you're doing is the art of persuasive writing, which is called copywriting. So me saying $25,000 is a sum total of what I've been able to make as a result of using video content. Okay, so I started video content, I think it should be around 2022 2023. I think I met a lady and she told me how many leads she was getting just from TikTok alone.
Wow.
She's actually a very very big creator. Probably people might know her very well. Her name is Johanna. So she actually inspired me that day when we met and we were having the conversation. I was like, I think from that, our conversation with her, that was my turning point to start venturing into video content very well.
Wow.
So within when I met with her and I started doing those things that I believe what she was doing, I was able to start seeing evidence in my business. In fact, it was due to my video content I was able to meet my mentor.
Oh, wow.
My mentor. And it was also through that video content I started getting gigs with some foreign people that I've never met. You understand? Foreign white guys. In fact, when they started reaching out to me, I was thinking maybe it was some of all these Yahoo boys that pretending. So it was a sum total of what I have made as a result of that video content. That's that amount there. So that is basically it. So that's just basically the total amount from what video content has actually given me from a result of using video content.
Great. Yeah. So doing what you do, I know you face a lot of challenges. I know any field actually there are challenges, there are difficulties. So what's that one thing that always keeps you going?
Okay, when it comes to life itself is challenge, right? Life is very challenging, everything. So what keeps me going is understanding life and knowing my purpose. Very, very important, because you might want to give up any day, anytime. When life throws stones at you, when life throws every difficult things at you. So I think I learned very earlier that it is very important for anybody to have something. Everybody that you know, all the great leaders from Gandhi, Donald Trump, Barack Obama, John D. Rockefeller, all the great people that I've known so far, they have something within them, and they know. There's a voice whispering within them that's telling them, this is what you have come here on earth to do, and you need to do it. Yeah, this is what you should do. So if you keep hearing that voice that is telling you this is what you should do and you're supposed to do it, you will just find out a way to call off every other thing that you are facing, and then you keep listening to the voice and keep pushing. I think that is why anything that you're doing, for you to even show up for us to do this show now, it was because there is something within you that also say, oh, this is actually it. You understand? Even though regardless of the distance, regardless of whatever expenses it might cost you, and all those things, to get here. So that's what will keep pushing you. But if you are relying on external forces, you will not be able to. That's why some people, they go into drinking, taking all sort of stuff to get those motivation. But at the end of the day, it breaks them. It breaks them. It doesn't actually give them that drive, that motivation, or those things to push them to get to where they want to get to. So that's actually what keeps me going. The voice that keeps telling me this is what you want to do, and keep doing it, and then you keep getting what you want.
You sound so deep about that. You know, you already mentioned that you read a lot of books, so I'm not surprised. So I just want to get on a very personal level. What's your personal philosophy about living?
My philosophy about living. Okay, so I just believe over time from my studies, and I get to understand life very well. I realize that everything in life has something that creates it. From everything you are holding now, from the card for the for the show, to your wristwatch, the clothes you're wearing, to your shoe. Someone sat down one day and said, this thing is very important.
Yeah.
We're going to be using it. So as far as I'm concerned, life itself did not just appear like that. There's actually somebody that actually sat down and said, let something happen like this. And that's why in the Bible he said, let there be light.
That was God.
And yeah, that's God. And there was light.
The light was good.
Yeah, and very good. You understand that? So if somebody said something should come up, then that means that thing is very important. So my philosophy to living is knowing that I did not just appear here. Somebody actually said, you should come here, right? And if every human being understands that there is somebody that actually has a reason why he sent you here, and there's something he said you should come and do, then you will no longer find doing things very difficult. The only thing is for you to identify that thing, and then you keep doing it because you know someone has sent you on an assignment to accomplish a certain thing. Yeah, so that is actually my philosophy, and it has actually been what has kept me to go this far. Yeah. Great
one. You know, although I did not want us to drag more on the online internet fraudsters lifestyle, obviously, everything. But talking about life philosophy and most of the things we do are supposed to aid us to live our life successfully. And the reason that most people go into what they do, whether legal or not legal, is just because they need money to keep going. So on your own level now, what's your view about money? Because from what you just said, you did not mention there's no money or financial or monetization in it. So what's your own view about money? Okay,
so when it comes to about money, because of the kind of background I grew up and everything, I always heard conversation from my dad. He'd be like, there's no money, there's no this and all that, we don't have a lot of this. So I don't know, something within me just doesn't like when they will be like, there's no money. I don't just like it. So over time, when I started reading books and everything started pointing me towards making money, I'm so very, very curious about wanting to understand what is this money in the first place. So many people, right, we go to school, we graduate, have degrees, multiple degrees and all these things, but we fail to understand what is that thing called money. And then the subject money is as important as anything. In fact, it's as important as the oxygen that we breathe in. Why did I say that? Because as humans, every single thing that we do requires money. Every single day that you are living, you are spending money. So why can't you be able to understand this thing that you use every day, so that it can be able to aid you to live the kind of life that you want to live? And one of the things I realized that you can't achieve anything without money. Like if you sit down, you look at yourself and you look at your goals and everything. I remember we were having a seminar earlier in January, and one of the facilitators in the seminar said, every goals that we have, if you check them very well, you realize that a huge chunk of your goals that you have set, 99% of them, if you have money, you are going to achieve them. So that's to tell you that the goals that you have, if you bring them all together, if you have, there's the amount of money that if you have already achieved the goal. Do you want to travel out? Even in our,
I think sometimes the goal is to help us get the money.
So if you look at it very well, you realize that every goal that you have set, even in the church, where you want to help the poor, you want to help the needy,
you want to spread the gospel.
You want to spread the gospel. You understand? You need money. So money is something very, very important, and I think that is why I dedicated most of my life to understand this money, right? And then help other people, educate them about the money.
As a young person, where do you see Africa? What's your vision for Africa in the next 10 years? Where do you see other African youths like you who are doing something legally?
Okay, wow. As somebody that grew up in Nigeria and Africa at large, I realized that there is no place like your home. There is no place like your home. Every other people that have run and left Nigeria, people that I know personally, most of the time, what they always say is they always tell us how they've missed home. They always tell us of how they wish they're in Nigeria, certain things would have happened in a certain way, and how they feel they are discriminated in other places. So I get to realize that our home is where we live, and then it's our duty to take care of it. So nobody is going to do it for us like we are going to be doing it for ourselves. We have to build it by ourselves. So my view about Africa is that how can we be able to make Africa a better place for everyone? And I'm very, very passionate in making sure that one day, one of the vision I have is that one day we're definitely going to make, especially, I can't say for the whole entire Africa, right? You have to start from your own home, your own community, that is Nigeria. So one of my belief, I strongly believe that we are definitely going to make Africa great. And how can we do that? By building infrastructures, by building things, by making the economy better, okay, through industrialization, through information, through technology, and through so many things that will make Africa a better place. So that the way we are yearning to go to outside country, people will also be having that yearning to come to Africa and then come and spend their life and, come and see what we have. Because we have a lot of resources and we have a lot of human capital as well. But if we are not capitalizing on it, there's no way we can be able to get what we want. So that is my view about Africa and how Africa can become a better place. Okay.
As much as I would not like to deviate more from what we are discussing, but let me just bring this one in because we are young people, and as Nigerians, we are young people, and in Nigeria we make up like over 60% of our population here. And the only thing that drives power right here where we are now in Africa, in Africa, is the government and its democracy. So looking at what has been happening in African countries recently, like the military coup, military taking over governments and stuff, what do you think is really going on? What's your take on it? The democracy. Do you think that democracy? I know we are going political right now. I don't know if you are that political. Right. So why do you think that power, like the government, is switching in African countries?
Okay, so when it comes to the African country, right? I think there's this man I really, really like. I love him very well. He's called Dr. Sunday Adilaja. He's actually a pastor, but he has a political view. He's very strong. He's very strong on politics, and he once raised something, a concept, and I truly agree with him. He said that democracy is not truly our African thing. It's not really, really working for us if you look at it very well. And if you look at many countries that has evolved from even being colonized and colonization and all this stuff, you realize that they are not actually practicing democracy. They are not practicing democracy. Why? Look at China. Look at Russia. Look at some of all these great countries that has emanated from. Look at Dubai, for instance. Look at Dubai. Look at Qatar and all these other
countries that we are spending money to visit.
Yeah, very good. They don't practice democracy, and whatever system they are working is what actually works for them. Okay. So democracy, in a way, is the white man's ideology of how the world can be governed or something. Okay. In as much as it talks about people having free and fair this thing and freedom and all those stuff. But if you look at it, to build a real economy, to build a real system that will actually serve us, it is not necessarily democracy. I'm not kicking against it anyway, but Africa must actually, or in Nigeria, we must actually have to look at a way that can really help us forge forward. And one of the things I realize with all the countries that are succeeding, right, is that they have love. The normal basic man have love for his country. And if you look at it in Africa, most of the problems that we have, I think, and I believe, is that many people don't believe anything good can actually come from their own country, which is Africa, which is very, very bad, right? It's very, very bad. Why will you be thinking another country is better than your country, right? So that idea makes you not to love what you have. And the truth is, if you love what you have, you can get the best out of it. If you love Nigeria very well, and everybody, if let's say 100% of everybody in Nigeria is thinking about how to make Nigeria a better place, then Nigeria is going to definitely become better, because you are going to put yourself out of the game and you are going to be putting in 100% for the greater good. That is why you see there is the American dream. So everybody will come here, I want to come to America and make myself a better, make it a better place for me and make myself better. Why don't we have something like the Nigerian dream, okay, or the African dream? Because if we have this, then the narrative
that everyone works towards.
Very good. Everybody will be working towards making achieving that, and then we'll stop seeking validation from other places.
I think that's where the point comes.
We'll stop seeking validation from other places, and then we'll move or march forward into making our own better. Just look at Africa, like the way your body is, right? If you eat well, you exercise well, you'll be healthy and you have longevity. But if you don't take care of yourself and you're being anyhow, gradually you are going to become sick, weak, and then you will die off. So you just definitely have to take good care of your own body and what you have. So that's very, very, very important.
So a month ago you were featured on Vanguard, an article about how you transition. No, that's not transition, that's evolution. How you evolved from making 100 naira per hour to making over 21 million naira. First of all, congratulations on that. And secondly, so bro, tell us about that. How did you get to that, man?
Okay, thank you so much for asking that question. Because this is the first time that I am being asked this, and then it's actually a very, very emotional one for me, especially when it comes to talking about this. So I think one thing about me, if I am to tell this story very well, I think and I believe my life started in 2018. Let me say 2018. That was when my life actually really started. And why would I say it so? Because I grew up in a very humble community, just as I've explained earlier, and how things was and how I was able to grow up and become something. Okay, so before 2018, I was actually living normal. I actually was thinking we're rich and all those stuff. So until 2018, I started reading books, and for the first time in my life, I stumbled on the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and everything about me changed. And what really changed was that was the first time I realized we're not actually rich. We came from a very poor, for me. After that realization, I realized I came from a very poor family, and then at that time I started thinking, what can I do to better my life? What can I do to better my life? In that period, I lost my dad. So when I lost my dad, at that point in time, I started thinking about life. I was actually in the university as of that time. That time, life began for me, because growing up in the kind of family I came from, I just knew I have to be very, very serious about life. So as of that time, that is when the struggle of looking for what to do online and all those things, it was just a transition period for me. And then came 2020,
the
COVID era. So we had to go back home. And then I was at home, I was busy taking seminars, right? When other people were trying to figure out how to study for their exams or probably all those things, one of the things I was doing was to learn how I can be able to become better in that period. And then I was just reading studying personal development materials and all those stuff. So I ended up, in that period, I ended up working with a Chinese company. So I went to, what do you call it? I was just seated one day and they called me and they like, there's a work, I should come. I didn't even know, I didn't have clarification of what the work is, but I just be like, okay, I'm going to do something so that I can be earning something too.
Yeah.
So I just went there, and only for me to get there, and I realized that I have to stay there. I was like, how will I be staying here? They said, you have to stay here.
So, like, what kind of work was that?
Okay, the work was Chinese people now, so it was a camp.
Okay.
So those Chinese people that came from China, they are working there, so they have their chef. They don't eat Nigerian, they can't eat swallow and all this like that. They don't eat that. They eat their own food. So they needed somebody that will be assisting the main chef, and then somebody that can be cooking for the Nigerians.
That are Nigerian staff.
Nigerian staff, so I had to be that person. So I struggled that period. They have to keep you 2 weeks in isolation to test you if you have COVID. You have COVID or not. So my result came negative and I started working. So when I was working there, man, it wasn't easy because they won't allow you to go out. They won't allow people to come visit you. Nobody, because of the COVID. They are very scared, very scared. They don't want you to go out. So, and their pay was 100 naira per hour.
100 naira per hour?
Yes, that is how they pay. They don't pay you like Nigeria where you say you are working, they're paying you 100,000 or 50K.
How many hours do you work then?
So I work 12 hours. So in a
That's
day, 1,200 naira for 12 hours.
1,200 naira
for 12 hours. That is not even money for food. For one plate of rice.
Bro, 1,200 naira.
1,200 naira every day, daily.
You know, I've had, sorry to cut up, I've had a lot of issues about how Chinese people mistreat Nigerians working for them. I don't know how true this is.
Yeah, it's actually true. And the reason why it happens is because, I don't know, you know, many people that work in that work, most of them, they don't have, should I say, self-confidence and all those things. So they have this master and slave mentality.
I understand you, but I don't think it's about having self-confidence. If you go to the UK, they have a standard of work there. So whether you have self-confidence or not, there is a system that fits you in. This is how much you are making per hour, and it's standard.
Yeah, true.
So for the Nigeria, anyone can just decide. How can you be paying a human being, an adult, 100 naira per hour? That cannot even buy you a recharge card, bro.
That's true. So that was actually the predicament, or my predicament at that point. So I made a promise to myself that I will make sure I work very well. I'll talk myself so that I will live here as quick as possible. While others were busy trying to steal the Chinese people thing to go and sell outside, make extra money, or trying to make sure they are jumping the fence to go out. I refused to live there. I was there for 6 months completely. So in that phase, I started my online business actually since 2019, where I heard about how to make money. The first course I bought then was how to 72 IG income generating machine. That's the name of the course by Tony Omotosho.
So you are really that time you were spending money to buy courses on how to make money online. Meanwhile, some people are just want to make money.
They just want to make money. They don't want to learn. You have to pay to learn. If you have somebody have information, you have to. And Tony Omotosho is the top person when it comes to, you see, Tony Omotosho, Roland is more Akin Alabi. Those are the top. They are the top guy. Akin Alabi is the owner of Naira Bet. He's the one that pioneered this betting platform in Nigeria. So those are the people I was reading their materials, buying their stuff.
While you were working for the Chinese people, making 100
Yes. In fact, before I go there, I've already paid for their course. So in 2019, I actually paid for the course. How I got the money was the small chop money they were giving me in the university. Yes, I was saving because I read Richest Man in Babylon. One of the principles of wealth is you save 1/10 of what you have to invest in yourself. So I was saving that 1/10 and coupled up with money that during when I lost my dad, people were giving me some little fund. I was saving that money. That's the money I used to buy the first course then. So the funny thing was that the first year, 2019, I didn't make money. The second year, 2020, I didn't make money. Right. So it amazes me when people will say I'm doing business online and I'm not making money.
And when they have that kind of experience, but they see you talking about that you're making money, they think that there's something you're doing by the side.
Yes, that's true.
You're not telling us the
You're
truth.
not telling the because life is process, just as you said earlier.
Yes.
So that phase, I didn't make money. 2021, 2022, sorry, 2019, 2020, there was no money. It was till 2021. I was working in that Chinese place, and I was with that mindset that I will have to leave here very fast. So there was this guy, his name is Kenny Wokoye. Shout out to Kenny Wokoye. I know he has really, really impacted me, right? Because for the first time in my life, that was the person that pointed out to me that it was not just having the system alone. Your mindset is very important. I was like, wow. That was the first time I was hearing that concept about mindset. I was like, okay, so I paid for one of his course. So that gave me a close proximity with him. And he was teaching us about mindset. He was teaching us about things to really, really do for us to make money. It's not just the course that you've bought, but your mindset needs to be shifted. So when I met Kenny Wokoye, it really helped me understand that it is mindset, not just the business. So business system, the system is working. The fact that somebody is making money, that thing is working. But it's the kind of attitude or your mindset that you bring to that business.
The discipline.
Discipline, the mindset that will determine what will work for you or not. So that was when the first time I now realized that, okay, it was my mindset. So at that point, I was still in the Chinese company working and implementing. Yes, any other per hour. I started implementing what Kenny Wokoye was teaching me. And then I started getting results. I started making some little sales. And then I was coupling it to everything. So, but it wasn't as consistent. So now I wanted to just break free from the Chinese system because it was just like, to me, it was a slavery. Worse than
the Nigerian system.
Yeah. Those people had zero emotion. You are feeling headache. You are working. You are not fine. You are working. None of their business. And if you are not working, you are not being paid.
100 naira. So how did you now then transition quickly from that system?
As I made a decision, I just sat down one day. I said, it is okay. I'm no longer going to work in this place. I said, I'm going to quit. And how the Chinese work, you can't just quit the work. Right, they have a system in place. So if you are quitting today, they will have to give you. They'll keep you for 2 to 3 weeks. Somebody is going to come, learn how you work, understand your routine, so that he will replace you. You can't just wake up one day and say you are leaving.
So are they paying you for teaching that person?
They don't. They don't pay you. They don't pay you. But your payment for the time you are working is still 100 naira per hour. But they won't pay you for your service teaching. No, they don't pay you. They will be thinking as if they are even obligated to. They are thinking they are obligated, right, for you to teach the person.
It's now your responsibility.
Yes, I don't just understand anyway. So I said I was fed up, and then the little money I had then, I was sending it to my brothers. We got an apartment, we were furnishing it, we did everything. So once everything is ready, I just told them, guys, I'm going to be leaving this place. So I left there, I hurried up, and I came back home. This is a part of me that many people might not know, right? But thank God, we're talking about it. So I came back home. I could remember what was left was 28,000 naira. So now something happened during when we were in the Chinese place before I quit and I left. Someone stole something. Some guys stole something. Just as I've told you, they're hustling. So they caught them because there's a CCTV camera. They caught them and it affected our salary. They deducted money.
Even those that were not.
Even those they believe that I'm supposed to go and tell them that somebody is stealing, and you understand how Nigerians are. I told these guys, this is not my business. You understand? But they are doing it, right? And if I go and say I'm going to be telling the Chinese, they'll say I'm the snitch now. I'm the snitch. So I didn't want them to become a snitch because
just to get involved
just the hand, so that I will not have an enmity with my fellow Nigerians. So it now they deducted our salary. In fact, on a normal, their penalty was to sack anybody. If you are working with Chinese, you steal, they will sack you. But that time is because everybody now, they felt everybody was involved. So they gave a pardon and they said they will remove. So I was like, I already said I didn't even want the work. So I told them I'm leaving there. So that's how I quit the job. I came out. The first day I came out, I had to walk around the entire of my environment because I've never seen outside for 6 good months. So when I came back,
feels like you were in a prison, bro.
Bro, it was like a prison. It was hell, bro. So when I came, I think I remembered it was me and my brother Victor, right? I bought, I think, some curtains and other thing. We went and bought food stuff, and then we bought a lot of gari, bought Indomie and a lot of gari. We drank gari, bro. So that I can never forget that. You understand? So these are guys at that point in time. I didn't go back to school again. That was how school ended for me. I told my mom I can no longer go back to school. So at that point in time, I was so scared. I was telling myself, this is the first time you are making this move. I was like, if you are in school, you call, they'll give you food.
They understand
you and send your money. But this are not in school. I was so terrified. But something just kept within me. I was like, there's going to be a better life coming soon. I just kept on going. I kept on pushing. I kept on saying, no problem, I'm going to do this. I'm going to succeed. Because my brothers, then there was this course while I was even in the Chinese restaurant place working. There was this place, there was this man, Bob Proctor. He talked about mindset very well. I learned from him. And it really helped me a whole lot. I studied in Masteria. We were teaching, doing his affirmation stuff. A whole lot of stuff anyway. So fast forward anyway. So when we now, I was now very serious with affiliate marketing. As I was following the principle Kenny showed me, I started making money to the extent where there was an event that was happening in Lagos. I was able to pay for my flight. I traveled to and fro to Lagos on flight. I even made it. Yes. And it was like an achievement anyway, because where I was coming from, I don't think I know anybody that's entered flight. You understand? As funny as it may sound, right? Bro. So it was an achievement, and I paid for it. So it really showed there was really changes, right, in a very short time. And so when I went there and I came back, I was now trying to implement the things that were taught from the seminar and everything. But that's when I hit rock bottom, because the money I was using, the small money I was using, trying to scale, everything now went down the drain. I now went back to zero. I was spending money in advertisement. I was trying to do it all by myself. Yeah, paid ads. I paid until all the money finished, and I couldn't even get results. I still borrowed money and all those things. So if you remember, I talked about when I started video content. So it was that in that period. It was in that period I started video content, and I was trying to make sure I get organic leads so that I can sustain my business. So at that point, that was when I got a call. My mentor, right then, I didn't know him, was a stranger. He sent me a message on Facebook, like, Seth, come over. And we spoke on the phone. He said, come over to my place. I want to show you something. And I was like, wow. I came over to his house, and for the first time I saw he was living in one of the most beautiful estates here in Abuja. Everything was very stunning. I was like, wow. I told myself, if whatever this man says, I'm going to be doing it. And I jumped into it. He told me about how he was able to make close to $3 million, and showed me some of his students that have made multiple hundreds and thousands in dollars. I was like, wow, I'm going to be doing this exactly.
So
and I saw that.
Business about?
Okay, so it was basically about blockchain technology, right? Blockchain technology, and what they do was going into a project that has the potential to do well, and then hopping into it. Like, so for instance, now the project that made him up to $3 million was a crypto project, and one of the coin they were having there was Ethereum. Ethereum. So imagine you got Ethereum, over 700 units of Ethereum, and at let's say 15,000 naira for each, and then imagine each of them shooting to close to $5,000. You understand? Over 700 units. You know, it's not small money. So that's basically what we do. You identify a project that has potential, and then you hop into it. Invest in it. And the project we are currently investing in is one of the biggest projects. It's called Metal Whale, and it has actually done a whole lot for us. So when I started doing what my mentor told me, I was executing, just following his instructions, doing what he was telling me, doing what he was telling me. Then fast forward in close to a year, he was now asking me, Seth, how much have you really made? And I had no explanation, you understand? I was like, I know I've made money. They were down pressuring me. How much have you made? How much have you made? Because results, as Dan said, showing me that I was struggling to eat before, but at least now I'm comfortable. I can look for something to eat without having stress. So I now check and I did my calculation and I realized that I've been able to make over 21.9 million euro. Wow. I was very shocked when I saw the money. Yeah, to realize that, because I didn't really know the money I've reached that amount. I've gotten to that amount. So at that point in time now, it now became a sensation everywhere. People were talking about it and all that. And then the rest is history. So that is just a little sneak peek on how I really moved from where I was to reaching that amount. And the money has actually passed that level by now.
That's like last year.
That's like last year. Yeah.
Wow, congratulations once again. I know that it's really inspiring, to see a young guy like you doing what you are doing legally. You get legally to actually make what you are making now, to make your brothers, your family proud, and then you are also happy with yourself as well. So before I let you go, we just want to find out what should we expect from you? What are you working on?
Okay, so as I've said, like right now, I feel one of the best thing is for you to succeed, you have to be at a particular level where you are financially stable and all that. Then later on, you can be able to start looking at other things you can be able to do just to pursue your purpose or your passion, something you're passionate about. So now, one of the things I'm working on is we're working on a startup. I and some of my friends. Okay, and this startup is about how to help reduce the real estate issues that we're having, especially when it comes to renting properties and getting accommodation for yourself. If you have looked for a house in Abuja before, you know how difficult it is.
Even it's anywhere. Abuja and Lagos.
Very good. So getting housing is very difficult. So we are looking at how we can be able to hack this. And the name of the product, or the name of what we are coming up, or the startup, is called Homestack. Homestack. So that's one of the things one of the expectation people should have. So not just the crypto. So money we were making, we can be able to use it to also push this very well, and then we'll see how Nigeria can become better, and also how the Africa at large, because we're not looking at restricting ourselves to it's a global project. Okay, so that's one of the things people should expect. And then over time as well, in the movies, we're going to dominate, also create amazing movies that telling our stories and changing the narrative of the Nigerian or the African man, so that the world can see us in a better light. So that's basically it. I
love that so much. I'm really looking forward to see the success of your startup, especially for accommodation, because for those of us staying in Abuja and Lagos, we understand what it really means to have an accommodation. So it's really a nice one. Well done, Seth. It was really nice speaking with you.
It was a
Thank
pleasure.
you so much for inviting me to your place to
host
this episode. I really appreciate that.
I appreciate it as well.
All right. So all right, guys. So we've been speaking with special episode of the Meets Personality Show. Remember, we have hosted him on the show before, and from what I'm saying, this is not the last time we are hosting you on the show. We'll definitely have you on the show again. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching the show. Thank you for staying with us up till this time, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Drop a comment. I've dropped a link to Seth Kyauta. You can follow the link to check him out on his platform, see his portfolio, and connect with him. He's a young businessman. So if you're a young guy out there, you want to make it on the internet space, crypto, movies, and just like he just mentioned, real estate in addition to the profile now. So connect with him and you will definitely learn a lot. Thank you so much for watching the show. I'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.